Hi guys, I have one more chapter for you guys. That was a lot, guys. I know that was okay. This is Last Chance Books by Kelsey Roddicky. So we are on chapter 4. So join me there if you have a physical copy. If not, just listen and do whatever you want to do. So let's just get right into this. Starting on page 40. So we just found out that they're gonna have to sell the store, and then she went out all crazy on Jasper, and yeah. Going to do very basic voices for this book because it's written a little strangely, I feel like. So I'm just gonna have, yeah. Anyway, there's only one place I want to be from 6 to 8 a.m. on a Sunday, and that's my bed. But that's not where I am, not even close. No, Astrid woke me up at 5:30, stuffed me in her car with Pop-Tarts, and drove for 2 hours until she reached the airport in Philly to pick up Dahlia, who decided to come days earlier than expected to speed up the process of inconveniencing everyone. 5 a.m. is not an hour I was meant to ever see. It's moments like this I really wish Duncan had stuck around so I could be somewhere else on the weekends. Benny won't be awake until at least noon, and who knows if Sterling will make him come over to say hi to Dahlia. I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't see my mother until I'm home on fall break from Shippensburg, and Dahlia has sulked back. Oh no, sculled back to California. After picking up Dahlia so many times, Astrid has this place memorized. She pulls into a spot and puts her Honda CR-V in park. I'm staying here, I say. I'm staying here, I say. Hands tucked into my hoodie. Things have been tense between Astrid and me since her announcement on Thursday, because she ridiculously thinks B&M closing is a done deal, and I, very reasonably and smartly, think that's preposterous. But Dolly has a way of making me redirect my negative feelings. As soon as I fully wake up and can focus on being mad about two things, I'm back to basically ignoring Astrid, except at work. I don't feel like putting my shoes back on, even though they're slip-ons, and I'm not dressed for public consumption, even though my pajamas could pass as what half the airport population considers plain clothes. She stares in that way she does, her blue eyes boring into mine, waiting for me to crack. But I can't put into words how queasy I feel. Any time I try to form a competent sentence in my head, my eyes start burning, probably from exhaustion. She wants to see your face, not mine. She wants to see your face, not mine, she says in a soft voice that feels like an apology. Then she shouldn't have left. I avoid her gaze. And left, and left, and left, and Astrid grabs my hand. Her skin is always soft, like velvet, and now she's here to stay. Why should I believe her this time? I ask the window. She's at a loss for words and looks away. If Sterling resents Dahlia, I can't even come up with a word that would accurately describe how Astrid must feel toward her sister. Like getting a paper cut followed by a million paper cuts, just when the first one has stopped hurting. And yet, she keeps picking up the paper. I think we're better off without her. My throat starts swelling up, my eyes prickle, and the queasiness turns into sharp, hot daggers. I don't want her here. There's too much going on to deal with Dahlia, too. How am I supposed to save our store with Dahlia breathing down my neck, clawing at me for attention she wants but doesn't need? Astrid sighs, turning the car off and unbuckling her seatbelt. Come or don't, it's your call. She exits, slamming the door a little harder than she normally does. I watch her disappear behind parked cars before I slide into my shoes, unbuckle, and leave the car under the pretense that I'll suffocate in the summer heat in there. As soon as my door shuts, the car locks with a beep. She knows me too well. I jog to catch up. I don't know why she believes Dahlia is trying this. I don't know why she believes Dahlia is trying this time, but I won't bring it up if she doesn't want me to. I will be civil until Dahlia realizes she hates being here, hates us. Then she'll leave again, and I can go back to being perfectly fine without her. Inside the airport, my aunt navigates us to the right place, her arm entwined with mine. At first I think it's so she doesn't lose me, which is strange because it's not that crowded in this area, and I'm not exactly prone to getting lost. That was always Benny's thing, but then I realized it's so I don't run away. When's her plane land? I asked, over an announcement that might as well be a foreign language, with all of its numbers and directions. She's already here. Awesome! I can barely contain my joy. We rounded the corner, and I guess I wasn't expecting her to be sitting there, waiting for us, with 3 suitcases large enough that I could comfortably fit inside. Like her whole life is stuffed in them. Frustrated tears start running down my face, and I can't stop them. Every time I see her, my anger just comes barreling back full force with no notice, no warning that I'm about to explode. I unhook my arm from Astrid and walk away, rigid, through a crowd of people rushing in one direction. I don't want either of them to see me struggling. I sit down on the nearest empty bench and hold my breath to prevent the whole body sobs that threaten to rack me. Madeline? Madeline? I'm expecting it to be Dahlia, but it's Astrid. Sometimes they sound so much alike that it sends a chill through my limbs. I forget the similarities in their voices and their looks up until the moment I see them together. And for weeks after Dahlia leaves or calls, I can't look at Astrid. Can't listen to her speak without a weird feeling in my stomach, like my guts are being pulled out. She sits down next to me, her arm circling around my shoulders, and pulls me close. She rubs my arm up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, until I can breathe again. Though not through my nose, because it's filled with snot that came out of nowhere and will haunt me the rest of the day. I sniffed, I don't know, I don't want to see her. You already did. The shock will go away soon. Shock, yeah, maybe that's what I'm feeling. Shocked that she's actually here, and with so much luggage. She usually only comes with a duffel bag, and ends up stealing half my clothes when she leaves because she's inadequately packed, or because she just like mine better than hers, and mine were free, after all. I told her to way over there, she says, indicating where we came from, so you can take some time, breathe in deep. I wish Benny were here. I wipe my face and sigh. I feel like I'm stuck with her all by myself. I'm not going anywhere. No, but you're the one who welcomed the traitor into our home. Astrid pinches my arm and I jerk away. Don't call her a traitor. She stands and offers my hand to me, winking. Not to her face. When we walk back to the... Oh, don't call her a traitor. She stands and offers me her hand, winking. Not to her face. When we walk back to the waiting area, Dahlia has moved her suitcase into a row and stands in front of them, her fingers wrapped around the handles of 2. Her blue eyes are wide, her mouth hangs open like she froze mid-sentence. There's a brown stain on one of her white camisoles, but she appears to be trying to hide with her dark hair, but it's too short. Hey, kid. Okay, now that sounds like that. Hey, kid, she says, not moving toward me. I wipe my face, but I know the tears have dried because my skin feels too tight and itchy. Hi. Good to see you. She almost drops one of her hands from the suitcase, and I don't know. Was she going to shake my hand, reach in for a one-arm hug? I ask about her flight instead of saying the same. She gestures to her shirt. Spilled some coffee on myself, but I managed to drink some before that. Couldn't really sleep. You're probably exhausted, Astrid says, stepping forward to hug her sister around the waist. Dahlia leans in, but keeps her hands on her suitcase. Time zones changes can do that, Dahlia laughs. The last 3 years without her weren't long enough. I need more time to not deal with her. Astrid grabs the other piece of luggage and wheels it closer to me. How about we take one? How about we each take one? I do as Astrid says and follow the 2 of them around the airport. Astrid has made maybe 3 inches on Dahlia and me, and her strides are longer, so it takes some effort for the 2 of us to keep up. I stay back, though, because I don't want to go too fast and end up next to Dahlia. She might want to talk then, and I like being behind her where I have the power to stay silent. The backs of her top and yoga pants are wrinkled. There's a crease in her hair where she must have had a ponytail, and she switches hands on the suitcase more than Astrid and I combined. Wiping her palms on her thighs, she looks back at me and offers a smile that I habitually return. Like when men say hi to me while I'm walking down the street. Just like those times I want to smack myself for I'm not happy regardless of what my smile says. I feel that. There's an awkward shuffle for the front passenger seat when we reach the car. I let Dolly have it to avoid conversation, sit in the back seat with one of her suitcases threatening to crush me the entire ride. I expect her to recline and pass out, but she insists on talking about her latest movie. She had 2 lines and got to meet Timothy Chalamet and staying awake because she needs to get used to being on the East Coast time. It takes an hour and 17 minutes for her to finally jerk the conversation away from herself. 77 minutes for her to take a deep breath and realize she was speaking uninterrupted, while 2 other humans, her family, sat there silent, and the other reason she stopped was to take a drink because her mouth was so dry. And isn't it so weird that my mouth is drier in in Pennsylvania than in hot California? Isn't it, Madeline? Yeah, weird. The words stick on the roof of my mouth. That's not the end, but I've done that before. I talk for long periods of time. Actually, not like a whole hour without anyone interrupt. It's usually 10 minutes and we talk together, and it's another you know what I'm saying? But that's straight. Dang. She's also nervous, so you can talk a lot when you're nervous, or not at all. People deal with it different ways. She turns in her seat, clearly encouraged by my speaking. So, any boyfriends I should know about? Of course, that's what she asked before anything else. How was graduation? Graduation was great for her information. Zelda and I, along with her twin brother Levi, got to sit next to each other thanks to alphabetization, Morse-covits, and kids threw beach balls and streamers while the teachers tried to get us to chill the heck out, and it only started raining right as the ceremony ended. No significant other. I know she'll scoff at this because at my age she already had 2 kids, but I'm too busy with BMN to even think about romance. My only attempt at a relationship with Eric Washburn, the bassist of the popular local band called Solo and the Rookie, okay, lasted 2 months and for approximately 7 instants. Lasted for 2 months. All protected in multiple ways. Thank you very much. It was my decision that we were never technically together for anything other than the benefits parts of a relationship, but the whole thing ended when he went away to college last year. The same goes for his band. Boring, she jokes, the sunlight making her eyes glow. There is this boy, though, Jasper says, glancing at me in the rearview mirror. Jasper. Jasper? Dahlia grin doubles in size. Tell me about Jasper. I'm going to make her a little bit hyper because, anyway. I could tell her 4 things about Jasper Hamada from his locked down social media alone that would sum him up sufficiently. He graduated high school a year before me and went to a different school. He actually listened when people said your online profile should be private. He works at Prologue. He's the worst. I lean around the seat to get a better look at her. There's no Jasper. I mean, there is a Jasper, but there's nothing there. He's a butthole and I hate him. He lied to me. My type, Dolly says dreamily. Stay away from him. I plan on it. Being around him is like finding your favorite book in a puddle of water. I cross my arms, flopping back into my seat and closing my eyes when a harsh patch of sunlight streams into my window. He's destroying B&M. Oh, he works for Prologue. My eyes snap open. How'd you know about Prologue? Astrid told me. He works there? I hadn't realized Astrid and Dahlia spoke that much, or about anything other than Dahlia. Yeah, he's a supervisor. Astrid turns to Dahlia. He's the owner's son. I should have made the connection. That makes it even worse. It means he's extra invested in ruining my store, just like I'm extra invested in seeing the demise of his. My focus slams back into the car when I notice Dahlia leaning around her seat, staring at me with laser-focused eyes. What? You were thinking about him just then. No, I wasn't. You were. I saw it. She narrowed her eyes. I know that look. Not at me, she doesn't. Not on me, she doesn't. She hasn't been around to see it to know any of my looks. Well, we're talking about him. What do you expect me to be thinking about? This is adorable. I can't wait to meet him. She faces forward. You won't be meeting him. I don't know why I feel so territorial. It's not like Jasper is anything to me but an enemy and a search history I need to clear. Maybe I just know that Dahlia would embarrass me to make things worse. You've got it bad, kid. She wiggles her eyebrows. Come on, let's stop by the store. You can introduce me as your sister. I've just about had it. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm not in the mood for Dahlia. I don't need them joking around about Jasper or her telling me how adorable my hatred for him is. Like I'm a little kid with a crush. He's a real problem. But like always, a problem for us is not a problem for Dahlia. Bad things don't touch her because she doesn't get close enough for that to happen. She's a window shopper and we're the books inside. Well, I don't know about Astrid, but I'm tired of discounting myself in hopes that Dahlia will finally want to buy me. I clench my teeth tight. Release. I'd introduce you as Dahlia because that's who you are and nothing else. The rest of the car ride is silent. That is the end of chapter 4. Thank you for listening. That was rough. Very hard to be the mom in this situation, but she did leave. So, if you were planning, but it's good so far, you know? But that is about it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like the video, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the next chapter. Or you might binge watching, or binge reading, or whatever. And that's what I do, so you know, we're all friends here. Anyway, thank you again for listening, and that's it for now. Ciao!